Hey guys, I promise that this is the last video you'll have to watch of me today. So I'm at work, I have Wi-Fi, so I'm taking advantage of that. I live kind of in the boonies, so my Wi-Fi is not always great. But anyway, so you guys had asked questions about the time commitment of coaching, and I think that's a really valid question. I think it's very important for me to address because I don't really address that specifically on a lot of on any of the videos, I don't think. So I'll have to include that in my next sneak peek. But um, when I got started with coaching, I started in April, and it was right at the time where we were just starting to prepare for tourist season, and I was working 40 hours a week. I do work full time, and as the season went on, I worked more and more and more. So I was working 40 hours, and then it became 60, and then 70, and 80, and it was just crazy up here. It's like people do this regularly. I don't know how, but I know some people work 80 hours a week. I'm just not used to that, so it was a struggle for me. But I always found the time to put into coaching because it was something that is a priority for me. I enjoy it. I'm really dedicated to the business, so I always made sure to find time to make that happen. So this business can be whatever you want it to be. I will post a little graphic here about whether you want to be a discount coach or a hobby coach or a business builder. Um, but for me, um, I started kind of as a hobby, and then I realized very quickly after I started helping people how much I liked it, and after the income coming in, what big potential this business has for earning, which I just talked about. And I probably I don't put in very much time because I'm super busy. I'm working full time, I'm planning a wedding, I'm doing all the grocery shopping, a lot of the cleaning, I prepare all the meals, I'm working out, I'm walking the dog. Like, I'm a busy person. I get that we're all busy. Everyone has stuff to do, but it's a question of, are you willing to make this a priority in your life? And just because you make it a priority doesn't mean it has to be a huge time suck. I have had to be very creative about the ways that I get my time in for coaching because I am so busy, and I do have such a structured schedule. Um, so that was very different for me than the coach that recruited me onto the team because she's a full-time coach and a mom that stays at home. So she's working from home all the time, and I just didn't have that time to commit. So I had to figure out how to make it work for me. So I've come up with some strategies and some tips, and I will share all of those with you when you sign up. But I'll just go over a couple of them very briefly here, just to give you an idea of how you can make it work. So, like I said, I'm working more than 40 hours a week. So whether you're in school or you're working or you're a mom with kids, you can make it happen. I promise. I can show you how to do that. Sorry, there's a fly here, but I'm probably working right now like 5 to 7 hours a week. Some weeks it's a little bit more, some weeks it's a little bit less, depending on what I'm doing. But I always aim to put in an hour a day, and an hour a day in a business is nothing. That is crazy, a little amount of time. So the fact that I've been able to dedicate about an hour a day to my business and keep a good, steady business and have it grow, that's pretty cool. I'm not putting in a lot of time, but I'm making, a couple $100s a week right now, which is pretty awesome. Extra money for, my student loans, for our groceries, fun money. It's a great thing to have. And I plan to put in some more time because I do want to see how far I can run with this business. I would like to make it something that I can be doing part-time or maybe eventually full-time when I have a family someday. You never really know. So I just want to keep up with it and see where I can go with it. So right now I'm putting in probably about an hour a day. And when I was really good about my schedule, I was waking up really early in the morning and putting in a power hour before I would go to work. And that works really well for a lot of people because if you have, 1 hour where you have to be really productive, most people can really stick to that. So I would check in with my accountability groups, I would answer messages, I would send out new messages, I would make a couple of posts for the day on Facebook, and maybe make a video. And so that's all I did for an hour in the morning. And then maybe before I go to bed, I would answer a couple of messages, and that'd be it. And then like maybe make a post on Facebook at night. And that takes like all of 5 minutes, really. It does not take that much time. So now my schedule looks a little different. I'm up a little bit later. I'm working more. So I do not get up as early in the morning. I probably spend a half hour before work, and a half hour when I come home from work, whether that be like after dinner or when we're sitting on the couch together or before I go to bed. And that's worked pretty well for me. You know, it's nice to have, you know, post some things in the morning, and then I kind of think about it throughout the day, and then I come back to things at the end of the day. So that works for me too. I also know a lot of people that do like smaller time blocks, so maybe 15 minutes before you go to work in the morning, 15 minutes on your lunch break, 15 minutes when you get home from work, and 15 minutes after you put the kids to bed before you get to bed. And that works too. It doesn't have to be something where you are sitting there for 3 hours at a time. In fact, I find that I'm not that productive when I have a lot of time to do stuff like that. I get off track really easily when I have a lot of time. When I have a short amount of time and I know I have to get stuff done, it's pedal to the metal, and I'm doing everything on my list in that short amount of time. So maybe you guys can relate to that. I know, like, when I have a day off, I'm looking at my list of things to do, and I'm like, shit, it's noon. I haven't done anything on my list yet. But when I'm really busy and I have an hour to get stuff done, I'm much more productive. So that's just me. And I can definitely help you guys if you have like a crazy schedule and you're like trying to figure out where I'm going to get an hour a day from. I would love to help you with that, because that's something that I had to work on myself. So I do have some tips and tricks about that. The last thing I want to talk about really quickly is, are you willing to make a time sacrifice for this? The coach that recruited me, she went pedal to the metal with this business, working, you know, 8 hours a day, and in, I think, 2 years, she started making 6 figures a year. That is crazy. It is possible. A lot of people have done it. I don't have the time to commit to that right now, but knowing that it's a possibility, you know, in the future, makes me really want to work a little, you know, put more time in, because if I can have that earning potential for my family, that is huge. You know, like I said, I'm making maybe a couple $100s a week right now, but, you know, if you can be making a couple $1,000s a week, just think about that. Think about the possibility for your business. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that because just think about the big picture in the future. If you want to start off slow, that's great. I started off slow. But, you know, if you want to, I always tell people that I'm going to match their effort. So if you guys want to just do this a little bit, that's great. If you want to do it part-time, that's great. If you want to run with it, I will run with you. I will make sure that I'm there for you. I'm never going to abandon you. I'm always going to be here. If you guys want to go pedal to the metal, I'm here to help you do that. But I want to help you think about, too, where you're going to be getting your time from. And this is something that hit me kind of hard a couple months into my business. It was something that a coach said to me. And what they said was, you know, I was struggling a little bit with, you know, getting my time when I was working 80 hours a week. And the coach said, well, what are you doing when you get home from work? You know, are you on social media? Are you watching TV? And she said, I want you to think about what things you're doing that do not add value to your life. And I never really thought about that before. So, you know, spending time with your friends and family, that's adding value to your life. But doing things like watching a ton of TV, sitting there on your computer, online shopping but not really buying anything, or scrolling through your Facebook feed, which you get really sucked into, I know. I do too. You have to really, like, stop yourself from doing that. You're wasting a lot of time doing that. I know I do. And if you can take that time, that 15 minutes or that 30 minutes, and put it into your business instead, that is going to be huge for you. You're going to be spending time helping people instead of doing something mindless, and you're going to be earning an income while doing so. So if you're like, where am I going to get that time from? I just want to encourage you to think about what you're doing, where you can pull time from, that you're doing things that are unnecessary to better yourself. Okay? So that's just something to think about. And I had to, you know, really evaluate my time when I started doing this. And I don't really watch that much TV anymore. If we do have the TV on, I probably have my laptop out and I'm answering messages, or I'm making a Facebook post as well. So just think about stuff like that, where you can find 15 minutes in your day, and that time is going to add up, and it's going to be time that you can invest. So I hope that helps you guys. If you have any questions, please post below. I'm super excited. Thanks.